Welcome to Willena Crochets. This podcast is about crocheting, having fun, and playing with yarn. Hello to new and returning viewers and subscribers. This is episode 18, celebrating the month of April for spring. I will show you some new items that I created, some works in progress, and some acquisitions I made. So let's begin. What am I wearing? I am wearing my Caution seashell top that I made with Brava yarn. The top was created using single crochet, and I used directional crochet. As you can see, I used orange, a rust color which is coral, and then a seashell, and then the sweater is surrounded with that Caution yellow just to bring up the brightness so it could you can wear it on any spring day. To complete the top, what I decided to do, instead of just having a single crochet border, I added a little shell stitch border to go around the top to complete it. The yarn that I used was Brava sport weight yarn in various colors. I love this yarn. This yarn is from KnitPicks WeCrochet. It's a size 3, but it's nice and soft, and it's not as bulky as the size 4, and it's really lovely to work with when you're crocheting. So the colors that I used were coral, seashell, Caution, which is that bright yellowish color, which is beautiful, and orange to complete the top. And I also used a burgundy. I use it in a different piece, as you can see here. I used the burgundy with the seashell, the coral, and the orange to complete this dress. I love the way the burgundy worked around the orange, the various orange colors. So this is the front, which I mixed and matched. And what I did is I created the top in squares. So this piece here, you see, is created in squares, and I turned them different ways. Some went up and down, then I flipped it so they would go in different directions to give you like a quilt feel for the dress. And then I connected it. As you can see, the stripes here are the connections of the square. And then when I finished, I decided I just wanted this for the front, and I completed the back just in stripes so that you can see the colors, because I thought it would be too much to do the quilt pattern around the entire dress. So I just decided to use the quilt pattern in the front and then just do the back in stripes. And this is all done in single crochet. The next item is a shawl I created for a charity. The group that I belong to, the New York City Crochet Guild, is collecting shawls to donate to a nursing home. So I wanted to contribute. So this is the shawl that I made here. I started in the center, and then when it got to a certain size, I just worked on the outside. So it's a granny square, and then I went from one granny square to doing 3 side granny squares, and then I just went up and down to complete the shawl. This shawl was created with Karen Cakes yarn in the color wave of, one second, Melon Smoothie. And this was the Karen Skinny Cakes, and the colors work really nice together. And this just took one ball of the Skinny Cakes to complete. I think the colors turned out really nice. The next item I completed, which I showed in the last episode, was my Denim Inspired top. So I finished it. I used the Rowan denim in dark and medium. And then I also used the Ancient Arch yarn in Socknado. So this was a fingering weight. And then I completed it with the Cantona Sheep Jazz off-white yarn. And this is the top here. I did it in a V-neck. And then I wanted to switch up the back a little bit. So I did a lacy stitch. And I found this pattern on Pinterest. And I completed that in the off-white. And as you can see, I added some of the Rowan white and the Ancient Arch yarn together on the bottom. I think it turned out really nice, and it's nice and light because the other yarns, the Ancient Art and the Cantona yarn, are fingering weight. So it makes the top nice and light and perfect to wear on a spring day or a summer day. This was the pattern that I found on Pinterest. What you can tell is that I only used part of it up to here. I didn't make space for the sleeves because I didn't want sleeves on my top. And this is what I printed. And this was from the live internet user, Irina. And it was a simple pattern to follow. It wasn't hard to follow at all. Concludes my finished objects. So now I will show you some works in progress. One of the tops I'm working on is this top here, in which I had a variegated orange, white, and light orange yarn. And I created that in a rectangle, and then I decided that I wanted to finish the top, but I didn't have any more. So I went to use the Brava yarn, as I showed you earlier, and this is really nice. And I used it in the caution and off-white. And this is the front, and I'm working on the back. The next item that I decided to work on was from this pattern here, which creates the Lallybroch Cable Purse. So I wasn't so much interested in the purse, but I love the design and thought that design would make a lovely top. And this is taking a little bit longer than I expected because you have to watch every stitch because it's cabling in the front and in the back. So this is how much I've done so far. I think it's coming out really nice. It's just going to take a while, because you really need to pay attention to the pattern so you don't mess up the front cables or the back cables. And I'm doing this in, I thought I would try it in the Big Twist Classic yarn of orange. And this should be enough to do a front and a back. This is 690 yards. Another item that I'm looking forward to making, and I got this off the KnitPicks website, is this top here. The Shoreline striped crop top. The pattern's pretty simple, and it's no shaping to it, and it has 4 inches of ease, and it uses double crochet and chains throughout the top. So this will be the next one I'll be making. That concludes my works in progress. So now let me begin with some acquisitions I made. One of the acquisitions that I saw in the bookstore and I really wanted to book was Knitting with Disney. Even though I don't knit, I can use some of the patterns to use with tapestry crochet. And this book caught my eye because it had so many different Disney patterns that I could make. You know, so I will show you a few of them. I'm excited to start the Cinderella Cowl. And that looks beautiful. And then another pattern that I'm excited to start is the Queen of Hearts. Because it has a variety of design that I'm looking forward to making. They have a Mickey Mouse in here. As you can see in the back, they have this sweater here. And in the front, that's for Beauty and the Beast. I also did some yarn shopping, and I went to Knitty City in person, which is located in New York. So this is the name of the yarn store, and they're a lovely yarn store. They're crochet friendly, and that's what I really love about this store, and it keeps me going in. So I wanted to purchase some yarns relating to the color orange. When March 2020 started, everything shut down, and I decided that my crocheting would focus on a certain color, and the color I chose was orange. So when I went into Knitty City, what I wanted to do was create one last piece, major piece, using a variety of oranges for a sweater. So some of the yarns that I picked up were the Lana Gross Alicia. So this is like a metallic yarn. Rusty Copper. I picked up Barocco Remix yarn. This is a size 4. And this is Apricot. I picked up Cascade. I love Cascade yarn because they just crochet so nicely. And this one is Cascade Yarns and Pumpkin. Another one I picked up, another two, sorry, that I picked up from the same company was Jeans. And this is the light orange, and this is their bright orange. And it's like a denim type color, and I think they look really nice together. I also picked up some size 1 yarn so that I can make some lacy sleeves with the sweater. So I picked up this Eulalie yarn in 100% cotton. This is coral, and I also picked up salmon. And I think those will look really nice in a lacy stitch sleeve. The last one that I picked up was a cake yarn. You can never go wrong with a cake yarn because it has a variety of orange shades in it. So I picked up this one called Circular Whoopie Sport weight yarn. This is a size 2 yarn in this color back. It doesn't have a specific name, but this is 100% mercerized Brazilian virgin cotton. I think all these colors together will make a nice sweater. And that was my goal when I went into Knitty City. That concludes my acquisitions. I wasn't too busy this month because I'm trying to finish up some of the yarn stash I have and some of the projects that I'm still working on that I started within the past year. So each week I'm going to try to finish different items so I can bring it to you to show. Also, I want to share with you my flower pot created by my sister. This is for my spring flower pot, and she created it with different ribbons, flowers, bees, caterpillars, and you can find her at I Am Hobbyist on Instagram. That concludes this episode. But remember, spring is also about care for yourself. Remember to keep all your doctor's appointment and take time for yourself to enjoy. You know, we crochet tons of hours, so take time to stop crocheting, just walk around, stretch, exercise your fingers, you know, move your legs just a little bit and keep yourself healthy for the spring and summer. Thank you for watching this episode. And remember, no yarn is off limits for crocheting. Have a great day.